Hello, we're live. Good morning. So today we're going to talk about a very special place Black women have found themselves in. A very special, like literal town in Mexico that Black women have been thriving in. We're going to talk about my special guest's own personal experience in that place. We're going to talk about the act of moving from Washington, D.C. to Mexico. We'll talk about how you even begin the process of like healing and unlearning the things that you know from the old days when you're moving to a new place. We're going to cover a whole lot of ground today, I think. Okay, so welcome. If you're at all interested in moving abroad, you're in the right place because we're going to talk not just about the place, but about how to get to the place, not just about how to find your place, but how to get to your place. Welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. This channel is for Black women interested in moving abroad, taking a career break, taking a sabbatical. I'm a house sitter, the creator of House Sitter School, co-creator of Exodus Summit. If you're interested in moving abroad or bopping around the world, hit the subscribe button, please. Thank you for that. All right. And then let me have our very special guest today introduce herself. Hello, very special guest. Hi, Kat.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Good morning. I'm Kat, and my channel is Rebloom Room, and I'm a Washingtonian, mother of a now college student, and I'm a resident of Mexico, and I'm also a podcast and YouTube channel manager.
Yes. Yeah. So I'd like to. So, Kat, I'm mildly distracted. I'm in Bogota, Colombia, and I expected my dining room table to be delivered. So I'm just going to be looking at my phone every now and then to make sure I don't miss their message saying we're on our way. Okay. Kat, do you want to tell us why you might be a little bit out of it today?
So, um, so I live in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. We're at 6,000 feet altitude, and it's in the semi-desert, so it's a very dry climate. Cat does not like to drink water. Cat hates the taste of water. So when you're in a dry climate and you're not drinking water, you get dehydrated. And so that's what happened to me. I'm dehydrated. So I woke up on Thursday morning. I was like, the bed was spinning, the room was spinning. I was like, oh God. So I kind of slowly woke up, got myself some water, and I was like, okay, this is probably what's going on, dehydration. Let me see. So I hydrated myself. I was drinking all day, still dizzy. So Friday late afternoon, I called my doctor. He came by, took my vitals. He's like, yeah, girl, you're dehydrated. And he sent a nurse who came like an hour and a half later, and gave me like IV fluids, IV like saline and some vitamins. I don't know. And so I'm feeling better, feeling hydrated, much more hydrated, but I'm still I still got the little, I still need to keep hydrating, obviously. So
Yeah.
that's where I am, just a little bit loopier than usual.
Hello, good morning, friends. Listen, before y'all start calling me names, I told Kat we could reschedule. Okay, don't call me names. Okay. Also, please say hi in the chat. This is what we do here. Okay, so everyone say good morning. If you're watching the replay, hello, friends in the future. We hope it's awesome there. Say hello to us in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you would, let us know if you have ever heard of San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And if you have, is it a place that you're interested in? So Kat said she's in San Miguel. So she's left Washington, D.C. and moved to San Miguel when?
So I got my apartment in February. I was actually here on a cat and dog sit in February, and that's when I found my apartment.
Okay, so we have
But yeah,
a lot of different things, a lot of pieces in here.
there
So
was. Yeah.
I do want to talk about all of this, but I also
Mhm.
want to just briefly ask you about that idea of having a house call. So on your Instagram, not too long ago, you posted about how the feelings that you have in Mexico, how you feel welcome, how people treat you with kindness, how you
Mhm.
feel people treat you with patience.
Mhm.
So how was this house call situation? Have you ever had a house call in the United States?
No, 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 no.
But it's pretty commonplace, I think, in other parts of the world.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. So it was really good. I was, I'd actually seen him, this doctor, like last week, I think, for another issue that's kind of ongoing and it's like chronic. And I'm like, well, could you help me figure this out? And so he's like, you know, gonna make referrals for me. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I already had, I'd already seen him once. He'd already come to my apartment once. Like he just does house calls, I think. Um, so yeah, then I called him. I'm like, I'm not feeling well. Can you come by? So he came by. And it's just really nice when you feel horrible and you're like, the problem is I'm dizzy and I really don't have a lot of energy to be walking around this bumpy ass cobblestone streets, right? Um, and so having a doctor come to you when you don't feel great is just, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yes.
Like that's how it should be, right?
You would think if it was about care, right? If
Yeah.
there was care and health care, then they would do things that accommodated you
Yeah.
instead of accommodating the bottom, the dollar, right? The dollar,
Mhm.
the price. So
Yeah.
he came, he checked you out. He said you need these things, and then the nurse
Mhm.
came. How do you know
Yeah.
how much time passed between the time when you first called
Um,
and when the nurse was there giving you an IV?
so I probably called him like 4 o'clock. Like I waited. I could have called him a lot earlier, but
Mhm.
procrastinating. I just was like, let me see if I can hydrate. So anyway, I called him around 4 or yeah, I called him around 4 and then he was here by like 5:30. And then she was here. She had another appointment. So the nurse came with the IV at around 8
Okay.
o'clock or something like
Good.
that.
All
Yeah.
right. So that's
Yeah.
then it would take in the US, that's like sit in the emergency room time.
Yeah, and yes, and I was laying on my sofa, attempting to hydrate myself.
Yes. I'm so
Yeah.
surprised that you don't like to drink water. You're such a plant eater.
I'm a plant eater. I love plants. I'll eat any plant that get my hands on, but water, it's never been. And so I drink a lot of tea, like a lot of herbal tea.
You do,
So
yeah.
yeah, I do. However, the tea in Mexico is weak. It's weak. Like you can put like three bags in your thermos and it still is like so I
So that
haven't been
means
drinking my
it's
usual. Yeah, I haven't been
okay.
having my usual, herbal tea thermos by my side. So actually yesterday one of the things that I did do was I found an herbal shop that has loose tea.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got some
Maybe that
loose tea and yeah, I'm gonna get back on my warm hot tea habit.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you try it yet and was it better? This tea, this new
Oh
tea.
yeah, no, it's better. It's much better. It's much better. Yeah, 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 yeah. And next time I go to the States, I'll bring my usual teas and all that stuff. So I have that as my staple.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any plans? Do you know when your next time back in the US is or will be?
I will probably be going in August. My kid is she's doing stuff in with her school, and then she'll be back in this doing a semester. So it has to do with my kid. I want to go see my kid while she's doing the transition between semesters. So yeah, go see my
Oh,
kid in August. Yeah.
okay. I'm going next week for
Oh wow.
10 days. Yeah. My
Yeah.
dad's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 10 days is about as much as I want to do. I mean, it's more than I want to do, but it's about as much.
I
Mhm.
agree. Has your kid come to visit you in San Miguel yet? No, because they're in school.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kid's in school and she doesn't like to travel. I don't know how she inherited where she got this trait from. Does not like to travel. And so I'm like, but I have this, I could get it, I could set it up for you. Everything would be all set up. But like,
Easy breezy.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not easy breezy because the flights from DC to San Miguel are not super convenient.
Okay.
honestly. Like if it were, a nonstop flight, boom. But it's like you have to go to, the way I do it, you have to go from DC to Houston or Dallas, and then you have to
Right.
fly to either Querétaro or Leon,
Bahia.
whatever that
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, whatever the airport. There's two airports that service San Miguel, and so then you have to take a shuttle from that to there to my house. So it's like it's not quite, and it's about 12 hours.
Okay. Okay. She's not into it. Okay.
So yeah, it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. Even for me, I'm like, ugh, I have to do this. But it's not an easy like bada bing, bada boom. Like if I were living, for example, in like Playa del Carmen, it would have been like boom. We've been
Okay.
there before. It's you fly to Cancun, bada bing, bada boom, get on a quick, easy bus. Nah.
Adelia says San
Uh,
Miguel is getting an airport, so things will get better. That's amazing.
I think that's gonna make it worse. I
What
don't like
worse?
that. It's just gonna be there's just gonna be more traffic, more people, more of this, more of
More
that.
people.
It's a small city, and then it's gonna I don't know, girl.
Yeah, there will be more people. My being from Delaware, I'm used to not being able to fly out from there, right?
Mm,
From Delaware, sometimes you got to get up to New York City if you want to leave, right?
mhm.
At least Philly, maybe Baltimore.
Yeah.
So for me, it's I'm used
Oh,
to
that's
that, so I forget that it's like there are people who can drive to the airport, get
mhm.
on a plane, drive, and then be in the place that they want to go. When I
Yeah.
go back to Delaware, I gotta drive to the airport, get on a plane, get on a
Mm.
bus, get on a train. I got to take
Yeah.
a mobile to get back
Yeah.
to Delaware.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Adelia, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, but then airport is going to take how many years to build? I don't know. I would say 10 years max or minimum. Does it take 10 years to
You'll
build
be
an
there.
airport?
You'll be there.
Presumably, right? I mean, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I do need to look into that and see what
So
the
I
plans are.
think so San Miguel de Allende is one of Mexico's pueblos mágicos. It's one of Mexico's magical towns. It's a place that I adore. It's the most adorable place, so easy to adore. Do you think that do you think that it's because of the growth? How do you is it still a magical town? Is it still a place where you're there and you're like, this place is so adorable, it's so delightful? How are you feeling about it being there?
It is beautiful. It's really lovely just to look, like just looking out my windows. I have a nice view of the mountain and walking out. Like every time I leave my little compound, I'm like, oh, I'm in Mexico. This is great. It's beautiful. It is really attractive. It's a really attractive city. And because there's like historical for in terms of the architecture, like they really maintain the historical look of it. So you can't just build like whatever you want wherever you want. And there's certain paint colors that you can use for the exterior of your house, and so there's that consistency, and it is really a lovely town. And of course, there's the pink church in the center, and that's always like every time I pass by, it's just like, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. It never stops being beautiful. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's very
Mhm.
awe-inspiring. It's a beautiful church in a beautiful square in a beautiful town.
It
It's
is.
amazing.
It is. Now, while you're looking at all that beautiful stuff, you have to look down because the sidewalks, the sidewalks, right there, because there's no gutter where the like when it rains, there's no gutter for the water to go down into the sewer system. So the sidewalks are pretty high, so that when it rains, like the streets can turn into a river, a little stream, basically. So that's why the sidewalks are high. So that's why you have to look when you're walking. You have to be like step up to the sidewalk sometimes, and so it's you see the beauty in between looking down at your feet to make sure you're not going to you know crash.
Accessibility, right? A word about accessibility. When you leave the US, even there's times in Europe, and there are places in London where I'm like, how is this legal? Right? When
Mm,
you leave the United States, you notice a real difference in accessibility.
yeah.
Sidewalk, things that are lawsuits in the US are just every day. I'm in
Hmm.
Bogota, these sidewalks are torn up.
Hmm.
Okay. They'll just paint a little X. There's a bunch of little tiny bricks, right? And they'll
Oh,
paint an X over top of the bricks that are super wobbly or
yeah.
super cracked.
Or they'll
And
paint
that's
it
it.
here. They paint it yellow. They paint it yellow here. Yeah. Yeah.
You on your own, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
learn about accessibility. Leaving the United States, that is one of the things that you will notice a real difference in.
Yeah.
You
And
got to be
my
careful.
you do. I'm sorry. And my parents are older, so I would never have them come visit me here. Mm-mm,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
yeah. My mom, Connie Perry, has a habit of not paying attention to where she's walking anyway.
Oh
So
yeah.
if she came, she would need there would need to be a person assigned to her to just
Hmm.
walk with her from place to place. She couldn't
Yeah,
walk on
it's
her own
real.
here. It's not that
It's
place.
yeah, it's real. It's real. And people like regularly like fall, break their
Mhm,
wrist, fall,
mhm.
get a concussion. Like it's real. So you really have to be careful.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
fallen
You have,
once so far.
oh,
It
did
was
you?
not fun. Yeah, I fell forward, just like these streets are hard. They're rocks. They're like really hard. It was not fun. I was not happy. But then I was like, okay, girl, double check everything every time you step. Yeah, that was like back in November or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Mhm.
you visited before you moved.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I fell in Puerto Rico. Girl, just splat. I hit the
Mm.
deck. I
Mm.
just hit the deck, scraped up my leg, like
Yeah. Yeah.
had my phone in my hand. So thankfully I didn't shatter my phone, but I
Oh yeah.
scraped up my phone. I hit the deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the things that, like I said, things that in the US would be a lawsuit, because this was just a pipe sticking out of the sidewalk. Things that in the US would be a lawsuit are just every day.
It's every
In other
day.
parts of the
Yeah.
world, you need to be on guard for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some ways that you need to be a little less on guard. So you did a really thoughtful Instagram post not too long ago, and I linked to Kat's Instagram here. She's Rebloom Room on YouTube
Mhm.
and on Instagram. I linked to that. I linked to your, anyway, you did a really thoughtful post about Mexico and about
Mhm.
how when you see people leaving the United States, even though Black people who leave the US are not refugees, okay? You're not getting refugee status anywhere. Calm down, okay? Even though we're
Right.
not refugees,
Yeah.
there is some similar healing and work that we need to do.
Yeah, because just generationally, like we have gone through a lot in the United States. We have gone through so much, like centuries of just abuse,
Mhm.
basically. Um, and as individuals, we've also, as Black women, have had to do a lot of contorting of our personalities and accommodating and, um, you know, retooling ourselves and being resourceful and always coming up with solutions and, always looking over our shoulder and just, forever. And so, it's hard to not do that. It takes some time, you know, when you to realize, okay, I don't have to be on the defensive all the time. I don't have to go like this all the time. I don't have to expect bad treatment, I don't have to be like, okay, what are they going to say to me? What are they going to, like all of that, the macro and the microaggressions that we have come to expect in the U.S. And letting go of that stance it can be slower than you would like, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
How are you making progress? How's your progress going in terms of, I call it I feel it like it's like a weighted jacket or like a weighted
Mm,
vest that I can
mhm.
feel I have to put on. Like when I go back to the US next week, it's a thing I'm going to have to put back on
I know.
because people are not going to treat me well. And I'm going to have to be prepared. I can't be so as soft as I can be here in Colombia, when I'm there. I need to be firmer, more guarded.
Mhm.
Has it been for you taking off the jacket or whatever symbolism you use for this thing?
Right. Uh-huh. It's hard to say out. Like I think I'm fine, but then like if I'm interacting with people, that's when you can tell. So you'd have to ask people around me, like, how's she doing? Like, I don't know. I think I'm okay, but like, like I know that there have been. I I can't tell. I can't tell because I'm in it. I don't know, but I do feel much more relaxed and just like, yeah, I feel like my shoulders have come down
Mhm.
being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you go back to the States, it's so quick that it comes back, and even around people that you like, it's not even the people that you think are going to attack you. It's the people who are like in your family and your circles. They still have the jacket on. They still have their shoulders up, and so you're in around people that you should feel comfortable around, but you notice this difference between how you feel or how you're operating and how they're still operating, and it
Yeah.
does create a kind of feeling of like, oh, distance, or just like a little bit of alienation, of reverse culture shock. I don't know what it is, but um you just feel like, ooh, was I like that before? And I like, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go. I when I look around, sometimes when I go back and I'm like, I don't want to live like this. I won't be like this. I want to live like this. So yeah, I think I'm different, but anyway, I've always been kind of an oddball. So I think I might hopefully have had less of that to do, but I don't know. Ask me again in like 3 months, or ask somebody else around me, because they might be like, she's like all tense. Like maybe I think I'm relaxed, and they're like, nah, girl, she got an issue. I don't know.
We'll see. Okay, we'll find. We'll do a poll.
Okay, how cuckoo is she really? How is she?
The plant plan says that's my fear, going abroad and realizing how not me I've been this whole time. Don't be fearful of that.
No, is it?
I think the only reason to be afraid of realizing that you haven't been able to be yourself because of your environment. The only problem with that is if it's your very last breath, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you're on your last breath, I would be upset if on my last breath I realized that my whole life I was living a different life. I was living somebody else's life. But if you were making any effort to find the you inside, right? If you're making any effort to see what parts of you are a jacket and not your skin, right? What parts of you are things that you had to put on to survive your environment, and getting to a new place and getting to take that jacket off and not have to survive that environment. I don't think that's a thing to be fearful of.
No, it's a thing to run towards. Run towards it. Like,
Yeah,
enjoy it. Like, it's like you've been cold and now you're in a hot bath. Yee, Woo. It's great.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you said you used the term reverse culture shock. I think one of
Mhm.
the things that really surprised me after leaving the US for a significant amount of time when I go back is is the feeling among Black people, who is the people I hang out with. I don't know if it's everybody, but I know it's Black people. The feeling of a loss of agency, the feeling of a sense of it is what it is pervasive mentality,
Mm.
right? That is the thing that strikes me the most. So, yes, I do feel more slowed down, even though I
Mhm.
was never a hustle bustle person. I do feel more slowed down, and I do feel more, um, different, more different. But I think the biggest thing, reverse culture shock, that strikes me every time is people's resignation, right?
Mm.
Black people's
Mhm.
resignation. This is how it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And it
Mhm.
bleeds over from this is how white people are and this is just how it's going to be to this is how blank fill in the blank is, right? I
Mhm.
bought someone I love dearly a puzzle, and she wouldn't put the puzzle together because she didn't want to put us find a space on the table for the puzzle because another person in the household was just going to come and move things and mess it up. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be that way, right? There are other solutions. You can buy a
Right.
different table. If you don't want to put the puzzle together on the coffee table, go buy you a little game table, right?
Mm.
There's another way instead
Yeah.
of, I think there's an overall feeling in the US, and I'm sure I had it too, of it's going to fail,
Mm.
right? It's
Mm.
it's it's not going to work out. So what's the
Mm.
point? You talked
Yeah.
about you we have hundreds of years of that. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years inside
Yeah.
of our DNA of
Yeah.
listen, all they're gonna do is take it from me anyway.
Yep. We
What's
tried it and it got burnt down. We tried it and they, scammed us out of it. Yeah. 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 There's reasons for that. There's reasons for it, but
Mhm.
it's draining. It will drain your energy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's just,
drain your joy, drain the peace. Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
think yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing. So that is the one of the biggest like forms of reverse culture shock that I'm faced with when I go back to the US over and
Yeah.
over again. The
Yeah.
lack of agency. But
Yeah.
okay, you're exercising your agency. So you moved to
Mhm.
San Miguel, you have
Yeah.
residency in Mexico. Do you
Mhm.
feel like you're in a permanent home, a permanent
Um,
city?
I don't yet. But for me, I've moved around a lot, and it usually, honestly, it takes me 2 years to get settled in a place. So, I don't know, you know?
Okay,
I don't know. It usually yeah, and historically, it's taken me 2 years to feel like, this is it. Yeah.
that's good to
Or not,
know.
or this is not it. Yeah, So we'll see. I mean, I really like it here. There are other places. So I just went, I had a dog sit in Baja like a couple weeks ago. So I'm still looking at other places in Mexico to see. I would love to see if I can figure out if I can live in Baja because I love being near the ocean. Being in San Miguel, we are landlocked. We are in the heart of Mexico. And so I do sort of, I miss the ocean. I miss being close to the water, like I'm used to living on a coast. So I'm still casually dating other places.
Good.
Um, yeah, to see. And when I take a break, I will generally try and get to the ocean. Yeah.
Okay. When you were in DC, were you a get in the water girly or were you just, it's nice to see the water? Were you out?
I'm in the water. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the water. Like, yeah, there's a pool. There's like multiple like public pools in DC where you can go for free. And then you can get to the ocean within 2-3 hours, depending on where you go. And then there's the beach house in North Carolina. And then it's 5 hours away. And then, the in-laws have a pool. So it's easy to swim in DC. Whereas here, it's like, they're not, I don't know if there's public pools here. It's a little more challenging to even just to get to a pool,
That's
unfortunately. So, yeah, there's like hotel pools that you pay to get into, and I'm used to getting a free pool or a free ocean. So I don't like that $60 a day pool thing. That's not for me.
Is it
So,
$60 for a pass? Is it really?
some yeah, some places like if you're going to a hotel, yeah, 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 yeah. If you go to a hotel, and then there's some hotels that have a couple hotels that have like a monthly pass that you can do that's more reasonable,
Okay.
but not near me. The one that's near me is the pricey one. I think it's more than $60 a day. Yeah, it's pricey.
Wow. Okay. I've
That's
used Resort
very,
Pass.
very 5 star.
Is it five?
It's got some stars. Yeah, it's got stars. It's got stars.
Okay. That would explain the $60 thing because I've paid $50 and $60 in the US for a resort pass. And I would assume in San Miguel, the price would be a little more reasonable. Okay. Not
No,
at
I mean, no, not at that level. And San Miguel, I mean, of course, the prices in San Miguel are from 0 to 1 billion. It's a place where people live, and so there's all levels of affordability, but it's not a cheap place.
no.
No, it's not cheap. The prices are, yeah. If you're expecting to come to San Miguel and lighten your. I mean, it is less like the rent. You can find places that where the rent is less expensive than certainly in DC, for example, or New York, or some of the cities in DC in the states that are expensive. Um, but like if you're going out, if you don't cook most of your meals, if you're going out to eat a lot, it's not cheap necessarily. Not
Okay.
necessarily.
Yeah, so every place is getting more expensive, right? Prices
Mhm.
go up. So I do want to pause us just for 1 second. You've commented this like 8 times. Hold on. This is
What
we
is this? Who is this? That's hilarious. Speak the truth. Tell the people the truth, man.
apparently you and I are liars, and everyone else, all the women
Yeah.
in this community. I've interviewed at least 4 different women in this on this channel who live in San Miguel. Apparently, we're big fat liars who don't know what we're talking about,
It's
and we're
all
not
over the
telling the
news,
truth.
man. That's what
I
those
don't know
fat
why you're
cats in
here.
San Miguel don't want you to know.
I don't know why would you watch a YouTube channel full of big fat liars? Go away, is what I want to say. Go away. But also for anyone else who sees comments, the reason I want to address the comment is that other people see the comments, and then if I don't answer it, it seems like we're hiding something, right? So now we got to interrupt the flow of our good conversation to address something that's happening somewhere else, not in San Miguel. You have not seen protests. I don't think we've seen protests in San Miguel Day and Day. Now we got Mexico is a big old country, and now we got to talk about something else that I don't think either one of us is qualified to talk about because neither one of us lives in Mexico City, and neither one of
Yeah,
us
there were those
is
protests in Mexico City. I think, yeah, Adelia and um, what's our good friend who's
Rashida.
because I'm yes, thank you. I'm dehydrated. Sorry, Rashida. Adelia and Rashida probably talked about it in their channel on their channels because they live in Mexico
Sure.
City. But it's a protest, and there are protests all the time in Mexico City. But here, San Miguel is not super. I don't know where people. I guess yeah, I don't know where people would protest. I guess on the parroquia, but no, people. Oh yeah, people are more interested in like celebrating saints here. There's like, yeah, there's saints for parades for saints and parades for people dressing up. There was, I guess, when it was in June, probably there was like a parade that was. Uh, I don't know. It's almost like Mardi Gras or Carnival, where they dress up. They like groups of people dress up on a theme, and then they march. It's huge march. They're just having fun. Music's playing. They're dancing. They're throwing candy into the crowd. That's
That is
that's
like Mardi Gras. That was in
the
June.
Mexicans are generally not thinking about us. They have their own culture. They have a new president. They're very excited about the new president. They have they have their own things going on. Like the world does not center around the United States. The world does not, well, let me wake up and see what's happening in the United States. No, no, let me wake up and see what's happening in my town. Let me
Mhm.
open the window and look and see if it's going to rain today. Like that's what people are thinking about. People are not think about, ooh, what's going on? Like, yes, they're concerned, but of course, if especially if they have family who are in the States, or if they have, and there are news reports, but it's not, the United States is not the center of the universe. It is not.
No, indeed, it's absolutely not. And even people who think about Americans for whatever reason, they're not thinking about Black Americans. You go around the world and people will be like, explain to me how you're American, right? I'm like, first of all, I hear the radio, the music you're listening to right now. You're listening to Black American music. You're using Black American slang. You're doing Black American dances. But for
Yeah.
some reason around the world, people forget that Black Americans exist. Nobody is checking for us. Nobody cares where we go or where we don't go. That's my opinion. Nobody is, that there's no one saying no Black Americans here except for in your neighborhood in the United States. Now, in your city, there are probably places where they're like, no, no Black people, right? No Black Americans. But in other places, there are a lot of places where they really don't even know that Black Americans exist, even though they partake in all of our partake in is gentle, partake in
Yeah.
still our
Yeah.
culture. When they see us, they're very surprised that Black people exist.
Well, I mean, they can tell I'm American. They speak
Yeah.
English to me when and I'm like, I keep switching it back to Spanish, and even sometimes I have to tell them like I'm from Quebec and I speak French and Spanish. So what are we gonna do? I have to keep like, because they will try and speak English to me every single time. Like not everybody, but like I I come at them like I enter the store, I enter the whatever, I greet them in Spanish first and foremost, but they'll always try and flip it back to English, flip it back to like flip it. I'm like, no, let's flip it back to Spanish. Flip it. Yeah.
That's
So they
very
know I'm American.
that was always my experience in Mexico because everybody, I'm like everybody is an exaggeration, but so many people speak English in
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
They
So
this
the
is
spirit.
like let me make this. They think they're making it easier on you, right? And they're
Yeah.
definitely making it easier on themselves to switch
Yeah.
to English. I
Yeah.
get a lot less of that here in Colombia, here in Bogota
Mhm.
anyway. I get a
Yeah.
lot less of that where they're like,
Yeah.
you're gonna figure it out,
Yeah.
right? My
Yeah.
neighbor, so like I said, I had some furniture delivered yesterday, got more furniture delivered today. The neighbor, I saw him yesterday. He has a military uniform on and he's probably close to my age. So he's probably a relatively high ranking person in the military in Colombia. And he knows that my Spanish is not the best. And he's like, we're gonna speak in Spanish. I know that man speaks English, right?
Mhm.
I know if anybody speaks English in this building, he speaks English. The older
Mhm.
ladies all speak English to me.
Hmm.
But he's like,
Right.
you gonna figure
Represent.
it
He's like,
out. And
represent Colombia.
I'm like, yep, I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sound like a 3-year-old, but we're gonna have this conversation in Espanol, see, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
talk
think
about my muebles.
exactly. I think maybe for some folks, maybe especially younger people who maybe they might have even gone to school for tourism. They might have like studied English really deliberately because they wanted to get jobs in like hospitality. And so it's probably like, yeah, I speak English. It's probably, like I've done this for this reason so that I could serve people or I could like, become a
Make
manager
money.
or whatever. So yeah, I mean it's I understand why they want to speak English. They like I learned English, so let me like use it, I did this, you know. So but I'm like, yeah, it's okay. You don't have to, let's
I
not do
I think that there's less hesitation. So an American who speaks a little tiny bit of Spanish is more afraid to try her Spanish than a Mexican person or a Colombian who speaks a little bit of English.
that.
And I don't know what that is. I've been wondering about that because, like I said, the older ladies in this building, when they talk to me, they'll speak to me in English, and I'll sometimes reply in Spanish to try to let them know that I'm here to
Mhm.
learn Spanish, among other things.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
but those same women, if the roles were reversed, they would be really
Yeah.
afraid to speak Spanish if they were
Yeah.
English speakers. And I don't know what that is.
I don't know. You're never going to learn it if you don't just practice and make a fool of yourself. You just have to. You're never
Yeah,
going to be able to speak it if you don't speak it. How are you going to speak it if you don't speak it?
I'll be out here looking real dumb in Spanish, and it is what it is. Like that is,
It
and it is what it is situation, right?
exactly. I'm like,
Child or less young. There are children. I had a conversation with a child in a restaurant, and she was 5, and 3 different times I had to ask her mother to translate for us because I do not even have the level of Spanish that a 5-year-old has, right?
yeah, yeah,
We're learning. We
yeah,
grow and we learn. So
yeah.
what do you think about your Spanish level and how have you seen it change since February?
So yeah, I did take some Spanish lessons. So I have a school that's not far from there's a bug. Got him.
Not even
Sorry. There's a Spanish school not far from my house. So I just signed up for like a month of lessons and then I went on my house sit. And then once I get back from the States, I'll sign up with them again for some more months. Yeah. So, and then there was a really good post somewhere on Instagram about like somebody asked what words in Spanish are not translatable. And all these people chimed in. So I was like taking notes. I'm like, flashcards. These are words that are like I'm so happy that I have that list because these are words that are super Spanish that don't really translate. So one of them that I recognize I'm hearing now in the mercado, it's what is it called? It's not, oh God, I can't remember the word. I'll have to look it up. But it's like at your service almost. It's like one word, but it's like, what is it? It's not dame. It's not dame, but it's one word and it's that. And I now I hear it and I'm like, oh, that's what they're saying. Got it. Okay, got my flashcards. I gotta like, yeah, yeah. And it'll come to me once the water kicks in.
Adelia says Monday.
Mande, exacto. Mande. I was because I must have been hearing it, but it didn't register until I saw it on that list. I was like, and there's a whole history behind Mande. It's like it has to do with it's almost like some people don't use it because it's almost like subservient, like at your service, kind of like I'm below, like I'm a indigenous person below a Spanish person, and indigenous people or non-Spanish would say it to Spanish people. So some people hate it, but other people are like, I love that word because it's got, it works. It's just like very handy. So no, yeah. I'm like,
So
got my
listen,
ear open.
the first time you've naturally put that into a conversation, you're going to feel so Spanish,
Yeah.
so Mexican, right? You're going
So
to be like,
Mexican.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my
Yeah.
Spanish is so good.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's this other thing in Mexico. My friend taught me. It's like, it means yes or like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's kind of like, mm-hmm. It depends
Oh,
on how
they
you
do that.
use it, but mm-hmm.
Okay. I do that. I've been doing that. They got that from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, they must have.
Yeah. Yeah. So, San Miguel. So we've talked about how beautiful it is. We've talked
It's
about it
beautiful.
being regular priced. It's not an inexpensive place. It's priced like other places.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about the altitude, a little bit about the weather. How's the food?
Well, I'm a plant-centered person and
Yeah.
I'm generally a pescatarian. In the center of Mexico, where you gonna get fish? I mean, you could get fish, but it's not like in Baja, it's not like in the Yucatan where you got fish, all the time. Here, there are many a restaurant where there's no fish on the menu at all. And so I've had to flex a little bit, eating a little bit of chicken, which I'm not super big. I'm like, don't really like eating meat. I don't like the flavor of it. So I'm usually like, if I have chicken, like, can you cook it until like you're absolutely certain that it's not alive? Like, cook it really, like until cook it. So I'll
Cook it
get some
till it
grilled
tastes like
chicken on a
something else.
yeah, so it doesn't taste like it had a life before me. So yeah, sometimes I'll have some grilled chicken on a salad, just whatever. But yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. But I have been going to there's like a big mercado that has like all these different fruits and vegetable stands, and there's licuados, and there's like they make sandwiches in there, and it's a big market. So I've been going in there, and I've got one lady who recognizes me, and she'll be like, "Here, pull some stuff together for you." And yeah, yeah. And I started using. I have like I guess ovens here, stoves here might come with it. They have like a grill that comes on top, like
Yeah.
flat thing. And so I've been grilling up vegetables on there, having a good time with that. So and then I made pozole and yeah. So I've been cooking. I generally cook more than I eat out. That's my style of life. I cook a
Yeah.
lot more than I eat out. So yeah, I haven't cooked fish myself. So just cook a lot of vegetables, and then when I feel like I need a little bit of protein intake, I go to a restaurant and eat some.
Okay. Are there, I know you're not vegan, but are there vegan restaurant, like are there options for someone
Mhm.
who is all plant-based, all
Yeah,
plants?
there are a few vegan restaurants that are really pretty good. Yeah, there are some really nice. Yeah, some that I found that I really really like. Um, one that I really love.
Oh, okay. Are you a regular?
uh-huh. The taco place. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think if you're a meat eater, if you like chicken, if you like meat, I think you'll be happy with the food. I think. I mean, people, yeah. There's like Yeah, there's a range of things. There's high end, there's street tacos, there's everything in between. Traditional Mexican, there's American, there's not a lot. You can't find Ethiopian here. You won't get Ethiopian food here.
Okay.
Or there's like maybe one Korean place, maybe. But there are also people who there's one woman who like does, I think it's Vietnamese food out of her kitchen. And so you can WhatsApp her and she'll deliver. So they're like different ways you can get around it. There's people like Michelle Winterburn. She cooks sometimes, and you can WhatsApp her, and she'll be like, "All right, come get it." So there's like cottage industries where people cook specialty food. Fish guys at the Tuesday market. I haven't been to the Tuesday market yet. Thank you. I
This is
have to.
Angela, one of the other women who's lying about San Miguel, I guess. One of the other
Mm-hmm,
Black women.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Fish
Fish guys.
guys.
Okay, I'm gonna try that because I have to get up to the Tuesday. I honestly haven't been up there yet. I don't have a car, so I don't up the hill. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do
It's
it.
up the hill. Everything. Yes. Okay. So we talked about the sidewalks, San Miguel, hilly. I think you could navigate it in a vehicle or an Uber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a person who doesn't want to walk hills all the time. I think
Yes.
I would say it's not Lisbon hilly, where Lisbon, you're walking up and down hills. I don't care. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you're in Uber, there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it.
Right.
But I think in San Miguel, you can navigate the hills if you want to by vehicle. I
Yeah,
think.
you can do it. It just you have to think about it though. Like if I like with the Tuesday market or at the like there's the Botanical Garden up the hill.
Uh-huh.
And so I have to think about it. Okay, so I'm going to go up there, and then after that, I might as well go to the grocery store because that'll be on that side of town. So just without a car, I just have to think logistically, like hill, up the hill, and then down the hill, and then back. So it's a different way of thinking about how to get around. But yeah, there are definitely some hills. Like I was thinking about moving last month, and so I was looking at apartments, and I went. And this woman was like, "No, it's no problem. Yeah, it's easy. You know, I went up that hill. I was like, buns of steel, buns of steel. I was like, this. I was like, I'm not doing this every day. No, it was buns of steel.
I I am up the whisper of an incline
Mm,
in my new neighborhood, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to embrace it.
yeah,
let's see,
yeah,
let's see if I can get this booty up, get it up, pushed up
exactly,
a little bit.
exactly.
Lift it up
That's
some.
how you have to get up the hill. Like, okay, I'm gonna like this after I get up here. I'm really gonna like this. Yeah.
What
But
fruits?
also with
What's in season right now, San Miguel? What are you so excited to get when you go to the market?
so mangoes seem to be in season. Like there was this time when there weren't any. I think that was October, November, where it was really hard to find. But I think they're good. Mexico. I'm sorry. I think they're
I'm
good
trying to
mangoes.
make the
Yeah. And I think
admins. I'm sorry. I'm trying to add in an admin since we do have more trolls. I'm listening.
mm, all right. I think the tuna are in season now, like the cactus fruit. I think those are coming into season. They're like I have some in my kitchen, but they're like size of an egg. They're like the shape and size of an egg, but they grow on the nopal. I think it's the nopal cactus, and they're the fruit. Don't know exactly what to do with them. I think I'm just going to make an agua, like a fruit water
Okay.
with it. Put it in the blender with some water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I think that's what you do with it. And they're bright pink inside, if I recall. I just soaked them and rinsed them off. But yeah. So
And they're
that's in
kind of
season.
yellowish
They're
outside.
green on the outside and they're pink
Okay.
on the inside. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a little I might do an Instagram just to show people what I'm talking about later. Um
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah. What else is in the ricotta? I was looking for an eggplant, couldn't find one of those. But I think the weather is semi-constant here. Like it's not as drastic. I don't expect we'll get snow here. Um, so it's not I don't know. I haven't been here a year, so I don't know what the cycles are yet. But I will say that San Miguel's weather is a little bit of a drama queen. Like, like
Ah,
it, we've had like it rained for like maybe 2, 3 weeks worth of like a lot of rain and clouds and like thunderstorms and lightning. And, when I came back from Baja, it was like I was on the shuttle and it was like pouring down rain. We could barely, like the windshield wipers, we could barely see. And there was lightning in the distance. And we came into town. We were on the outskirts, and the lights went out on the streets, and it was just drama. And I remember one time I went to, I think, yeah, it was with a group of Black folks. We went to this water park. It was back in, I can't remember, maybe May or something. And we went to this water park, and it was really nice. There were like families all around. I remember we were walking in. We were like, I wonder if we can bring outside food into this park. I wonder if that's gonna be good. Girl, people brought their barbecues. They brought like whole, like probably like a whole leg of lamb. I don't know, a goat. And they brought it. They brought it. There was not. That's another thing. Like we're so like, ooh, can we bring in our outside food? People were like hanging up their hammocks,
with the
got their picnic
rules.
tables. Yes, they're like, we're here. We brought a family. We're gonna have fun. Nobody's gonna stop us. We're gonna bring our stuff. Yes, there's a cafe. If you didn't bring food, you can buy food there. But if you brought your barbecue grill, have at it. It's not this policey situation where you're like, ooh, they want to make money off of me, so I can't bring my popcorn into the theater. No, no, right?
That's right. Two reasons that things are very different. They're not policey, and they're not the super capitalists that United people are in the United States, right? So
Mhm.
not policey. They have rules, but their rules are
Yeah,
very. You
yeah.
do what you
It's
do, and they're
it's more
not.
living,
Yeah.
more live and
Good.
let live. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
my point about this was we were in this water park. There were like grass areas with blankets and stuff. Um, and we were sitting there, mind our business, and all of a sudden, like this wind comes up out of nowhere. And it's so strong that like tables are blown over, food is like
Mm.
all over the grass. People are like, what is happening? It's like it feels almost like a tornado storm. Something's happening. 30 seconds later, it's over. I was like, and everybody's looking up like, what just happened? What was that? And like we're just picking stuff up everywhere. People are like bringing stuff to each other, like, here's your blanket, here's your, whatever. But yeah, it's just very like dramatic like that here, weather-wise. It's like, what was that? Rainstorm, thunderstorm. Then it's like, oh, it's sunny again. Okay. And it's hot. It's like so weird. It's hard to get used to. Yeah.
So it's a lot of places at high altitude don't have heat and air conditioning in their homes.
Yeah.
Are you in one of those places? When you
I'm
say it
not.
got hot, how hot, and is it manageable hot?
Yeah, so I am in a place that doesn't have it. Mine is slightly more traditional. I guess it's more of a traditional building. It doesn't have heat or air conditioning. Um,
Okay.
it has a lot of windows, so a lot of ventilation. When it does, like the weather's nice, I open them up. But it gets cold inside the buildings. Like when I was sitting in a place in February, it was cold. Oh God, here we go again. Here we
I'm
go
trying to
again.
star things. I'm so out of it. I'm trying to star things, and I keep putting them on the screen instead of starring them for later. I'm sorry for distracting you, but yeah, I
Telling
had to
the
buy a
truth,
heater.
man. Telling the truth.
I had to buy I bought a heater as well.
Yes, I have a
Yeah.
little. I have a little heater just to move it around, and fans when it got hot. So yeah, when was it? May. I think was really hot here. I think it was in the 90s, low 90s maybe. And it was hot.
Right.
It was hot, very hot. It was hot. It just was hot. Like it was hot. And so you go out in the morning, come back in. Go if you want to go back out, you go back in the evening. Right.
Okay. Yeah, just live around it, work around it until it passes. Hopefully it
Yeah.
passes. Weather
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
extreme, and so we don't extreme weather is being very extreme,
Mhm.
And so we may be in places that are not prepared for how extreme the weather is becoming in
Mhm.
that way. Like they don't have air conditioning because they're not used to it being 90 something degrees in
Yeah,
San Miguel at 6,000 feet. You don't hear that too much.
exactly. Yeah. Now there
Yeah.
are places, there definitely you will find places that have like a mini split in the room,
Mm.
in the bedrooms especially. That's not uncommon that you would have a mini split in your bedroom, so you could have air conditioning or heating when it gets extreme. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but
You
I
can
think
people can look for it. And I think you can
hmm?
even install that yourself, right? Because that doesn't require ductwork. Do people
Mm.
install those themselves?
I think so. I think they
Okay.
do. If you're, especially if you're buying a place, I wouldn't do it in a rental, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
That can solve that problem.
Yeah, it can. And electricity is expensive. And well, it's cheap until you start using a lot and then it gets expensive. Like it's tiered. Like if you're reasonable about your electricity use, they keep it nice and inexpensive. But once you start like you get to that level, and I think this is all Mexico, where
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you're using a lot? Oh, I guess you can afford it." Boop, and then you'll be like, "Ugh." And I know in Merida, people where it's super hot all the most of the year, almost all the year,
Mhm.
people can get surprised by their electricity bill. They think, oh, it's really cheap. And then they're running the AC all the time. And then they get that spike. And then from then on, their electricity is a lot more per unit. So that's
So
unfortunate.
speaking of capitalism and the differences in the way capitalism is and isn't done around the world, Mexico subsidizes their utilities, their electricity. So your bill is subsidized unless you reach a certain level. Unless you hit a certain number, then you lose that subsidy and you're paying your whole bill. So I house sat in Guanajuato, which is in the same state as San Miguel de Allende, but a little, a town or two over. And I house sat for her for 30 days and I had to pay her electric bill. And she gave me, I always try to remember the specifics. I know her bill for
Mhm.
2 months was about $15 or $15 in in like a condo sized place.
Mhm. Yeah.
2 months. That was her 2 month bill. So that's
Yeah.
how people get suckered into, oh, it's really electricity is really cheap, air conditioning units, all of this, all of that, and then you hit the max, you hit that
Yeah.
threshold, and now you have to pay the whole bill. It's not
Mhm.
cheap anymore.
Yeah. And
Same
it
thing
goes
in
forward from there. Like it's hard to get off of that high tier once you're in it.
oh, it's
Yeah.
not like a month, you messed up this month. Okay, we'll give you're back down. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Something to know.
Yeah,
Something to know.
I don't know how you get off that high tier once you're up in it. I think that they're like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you get down off of that ledge.
All right. Yeah, this is why you need to know how things operate in a place before you go there and build a house or buy a house or
Mhm.
whatever. You need to live in a
Mhm.
place and see how things function before you go
Yeah.
into that place just all willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So, speaking of money and expenses and bills, how do you live in Mexico? So, you were living in Washington, D.C. Now you live in Mexico. I assume the job in Washington, D.C. is not the same job that you do in Mexico. So, where the money coming from?
Mm. Well, so I have started my business doing work as a what do I do? YouTube channel manager, podcast manager. So I edit videos, I edit audio, and maintain people's websites when they have a podcast, whether that's an audio podcast or a video podcast. So or both. So that's what I've been doing. I have clients and yeah, I've been like rotate right now. I'm kind of it's turning over because it's August. People want to take a break, and
Uh-huh.
so I'm like I have a little bit too much work right now, um, but I'm rotating people off and raising rates so that I can streamline that a bit for the fall. Um, yeah, so that's what I do. And I'm living off savings because I have a kid in college, so that's the savings is doing that part. I'm not able to pay the kid expenses from that yet. Um, but yeah, so it's a combination of savings and income from the work that I'm doing.
How long have you been a podcast manager, and how did you start this? How did this become your thing?
Um, Long story, but so I went to film school. I also have a master's in journalism. I interned at NPR. I interned at my local NPR affiliate in Washington, D.C. So I have experience working in audio and visual media. Um, and right after I got my master's in journalism, I started building websites, and I got a job as a web editor and then a digital content strategist. And so I've been working in the digital media arena for a very long time, maybe 20 years,
Okay.
longer. So, and I love audio. I love editing audio. It's just super fun. I just have really sensitive ears, I think. I always have. So I'm like really like sound, luckily. And so let's see, I was working as a digital content strategist at an organization that was kind of a nonsense place. And I got really tired of the nonsense. And so um, I decided to take a break. Thank you, Rashida. She was my take a break cheerleader. And then that's when I did I guess it was last year that I did like a tour of Mexico. I was doing house sits all around Mexico. Meanwhile, I took a while ago, I took your Get Found on YouTube challenge. And that actually helped me when on my job that I left. I had actually taken over the YouTube channel because it was just kind of sitting there dormant. And so I practiced on them to get my YouTube skills up. And then, and we got and also with the podcast, I was managing and producing their podcast there. And we got like over 1 million downloads. And so I was, feeling like, okay, how to do this. So then I started looking for clients, and I also took Get Your Next 3 Clients, and I took another thing that was kind of BS, but then I also took Hannah Dixon's VH challenge, I did her VH challenge, and I'm in her community. And so I've done different ways of getting the skills that I needed. The YouTube skills, the get your client skills, the get your business, all of the business systems in place skills. And then I just started put my shingle out, started telling people this is what I'm doing. I did go on Upwork. Funny story, I forgot I was on Upwork. like a month ago, somebody was like, hey, don't you want to do this? I'm like, wait, where is this coming from? Oh yeah, Upwork. I forgot about that. So I have one client who came through Upwork, but this is just a one-off thing. So I'm just, planting seeds, basically, a little bit on Instagram, a little bit on LinkedIn, a little bit on Upwork, I guess. And then clients come to me, and then I figure out what they need and what skills I can, I have that can help them. And I help people, and that's what I do. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
It's growing.
So I love it when Black women take their skill set and take it out of a traditional job and take it on the road, right?
Yeah.
Do it in a way that they can live the life that they want. Because so many times we're like, well, I can't leave the country because my job, right? Or I can't
Yeah.
leave the country, or I can't do whatever because my job. And you're like, well, you could do that thing. Could you possibly still do that thing, just not for that job? That job shouldn't be the boss of your whole life,
Yeah.
I think. And so
Right.
the skill set is a skill set. You take that skill set out into the world. So I love that you do that.
Yeah, and it was like a lot of try this, try that, try this, try that. It's not like bing bong, you're done. It's been like, okay, let me see, can I try this? Is this coach helpful? Yes, no. Is this skill? And I'd get the little skill from that coach, even if they weren't super helpful, I would get that skill. I would take that from them. And then, keep building my portfolio. I keep adding to my portfolio, and my skill set I keep adding. And I mean, it's building building the train tracks as you're
Yeah.
rolling. I mean, it takes a while, and it was not instantaneous. So for, yeah, it's not instant. It's not, for
No.
me, it hasn't been instant. It's been like you try something out, you see if it works. And now I'm like, now, I'm learning also now I'm learning like what kinds of clients I want to work with, what ones like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I have one client who's like engineering. I'm like, girl, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? This has nothing to do with your life. Let it
It's an
go.
engineer.
So this, yeah, that's the one-off client. So luckily it's
Uh,
not going to last very long, but I'm like, engineering, no. I don't want to do this. But yeah, I had another client who is she's a move abroad coach. That's
oh.
I love that. I love
Oh,
that
I
content.
saw her. Yeah, the 30
Right?
something, something like
Yeah.
refresh.
Yeah, she hit refresh. Yeah,
You hit
step up.
refresh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
are like I love listening to that content, and you have to listen to it multiple times. So it's better when you like the content and I'm actually learning. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know about that piece. So that's cool. Okay. Like you can learn from the content that you're listening to over and over and over. So
That's
it's
right.
yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad. I'm glad it's not just like, well, I know how to do it, so I'll do it. But it's like, I love audio, right?
Mhm.
I love this group of clients or this type
Yeah.
of client. It
Yeah.
can all work together. There's a
Yeah.
lot of messaging. Speaking of the earlier, we talked about a lack of agency. There's a lot of messaging that the way you make money in your life has to suck, right? It just has
Mhm.
to be terrible. It's not possible to make money in your life doing things that you like doing.
Yeah.
I don't mean monetize your hobbies. It's okay to have hobbies that are not related to money. But what I
Mhm.
do mean is it's possible to take things that you're really interested in, that you're really good at, and make money to support yourself doing those things. It's a wonderful thing to see, and it's a wonderful thing to do to live out
Yeah.
because the we spend a good portion of our lives towards making money, right?
Yeah.
Towards earning our living. And I feel for people who do it doing a thing that they just dread. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah, and that's what I found when I was doing, I was working for that organization. I was like, I really like the work I do. I like my immediate team, but God, this organization is just horrible. Like, just what are you doing? So like it's like 2 out of 3. And then
yeah.
at some point the 3, it's just not, it just gets too bad. Yeah. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
So Kat took our Get Your Next Three Clients challenge a while ago.
Yeah.
One
I
of
think I
our
took
first
it
rounds.
twice. I probably took it twice, me.
Oh, maybe twice. The first time though was one of the first rounds of the Get Your Next Three Clients challenge. It's migrated over to our Exodus A.S.A.P membership. So if you're like Kat and you're like, I know how to do something and I like doing it and I want to either do it or teach people how to do it or whatever, that may be your move abroad money, right? That may be your money to live in Mexico and go to the markets and, you know, be out there, you know, living your life.
Mm.
If you want to join the next cohort of the Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge, which is a 6-day challenge, we start mañana. Okay, we start tomorrow, which is July 27th, 2025, for those of you who are watching some other time in the world, in the time. So if you want to join us in the Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge, if you want to take something from an idea to it's a business where I make money to live abroad, or it's already a business, but I don't have a way to get clients in the business. Join us in the Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge. We work on what is your message? How do you get your message in front of groups of people, right, who are relevant to the thing that you want to do? And then how do you move them into your business instead of prospecting for clients like I once did? Like, I want to work with this one person, so let me make a little proposal and holler at this one person over and over and over again until I got clients. Instead, now the same thing that Rashida and I do on the internet is what we teach you to do, not in your own YouTube channel. This is not a challenge about growing your own YouTube channel. Electrolytes, let's hydrate. It's not a challenge about growing your own YouTube channel. It's a challenge about getting yourself on other people's platforms, right? On relevant platforms, in relevant spaces, so that you can talk your talk and move people into your business. Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge. Exodus A.S.A.P membership is $247 for 1 month. You can join for longer than that, but it's a 1 month monthly membership, recurring membership. And with the last time we hosted this challenge, we charged $497. Okay. So join the challenge on Sunday or the last time we hosted it alone, the last time we hosted the challenge outside of the membership, it was twice the price of what it costs today. And not only do you get the challenge, but you also get the month in Exodus A.S.A.P. It's a recurring membership, but you stay however long you decide. All right. So you're in. Oh, can I ask you? I know that you're hydrating because of our altitude and dehydration situation, but can I ask you, should I be taking my YouTube audio and make it a podcast?
Um, hmm, you in particular.
Mhm.
Your 3-hour long YouTube conversations might need to be edited down because there's a lot of interaction with the chat.
Mm.
And so people wouldn't see the chat necessarily. And if you, then you would have to, make sure you read the whole question out so people who are listening. So it would be a little pivot for you. You might, and I pity your editor taking the 7-hour wait for my bed episode.
I hear you. I got the message. If I were a more diligent pre-recorded video maker who was often making at least 4 videos a month that are pre-recorded and are 35 minutes and are not live streams, then would that be a better fit for
I would say, yeah, you could actually, you could even take what you have already and, edit those just slightly and put them up on like the pre-recorded ones. I think, they would be probably pretty great.
Thank you, Melanie. Melanie said,
only 4.5, only 5.5.
Okay, please. You're so exaggerating.
I know. Don't get it twisted. It was short.
Please. Yeah.
Thank you, Melanie.
So I like YouTube because YouTube, I think, does a better job than the podcast platforms of bringing you new people. But there are people who are diehard podcast listeners who are not watching YouTube.
Definitely.
Or not that much anyway, who YouTube doesn't have the data on them to know what they like. And I don't know if I'm out by not repurposing some stuff and creating an actual podcast instead of just throwing some audio out there, like having it edited, like you said, and putting it in audio.
That's Michelle is saying you can record a season ahead of time with your greatest hits. Like you could do I like that. Do and be super just a curated podcast so that people who, maybe they don't have time to listen to or watch a 5-hour, but they do have time to listen to 45 minutes, as they're walking around town or driving somewhere. Yeah, I love a podcast, obviously. I love podcasts. Yeah. But it's a different medium.
Thank you for that. Thank you for letting me ask you for some coaching. It's a thing that I think would be helpful. It's just not a thing that I know how to do or if.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
I got your info.
You don't have to know how to do it.
Friends, I've already linked in the description of this video to Kat's podcast and YouTube management business, right? So I'll link to that here in the chat. If you're in my shoes and you're like, listen, I got some stuff, but who's going to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to record it. And then once you have, especially if you have something that's you have a lot of content or long content, and you're like, yeah, but people aren't going to listen to this. What do I do with all of this? Yeah. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
I've linked in the description, and here's the link here in the chat. If you're like me, if you're in my shoes, or if you want to get started, you can say no. Do you enjoy working with people who want to get started and need to start from zero, or do you prefer to work with people who already have something out there?
I do both. I can help you launch a channel if you don't have a channel already. I do prefer to work with people who have a YouTube channel that's connected to a business, so that we're not just talking about whatever, that it's connected to a business, and you have like certain goals for it, and we can sort of tie the channel and your content to what you're trying to do with your business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right, friends. Of course, like I said, links are in the description of this video. Okay,
Mhm.
links are there.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like there were some things in the chat that I wanted to
Yeah.
star, but I don't know that I did a good job of starring
Um,
them. So let's
there
see
was
what my
some. I
star.
think it was. There was a somebody who commented about.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
There was.
I think there is a stirring up of agency. I think so. We talked earlier about how people have a lack of agency. To me, when I go to the US, what I see is a lack of agency. I see a lack of, I can move myself out of this situation. And I think that that has served some people really well, right? It's just us Black women feeling like, well, fight is our only option
Yeah,
has served some people really well. And having us
yeah,
say flight, let's exercise a little flight here, is upsetting to some people and their homies. I think
yeah,
that's what it is.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
a Pisces, so I will just scoot away. I was here a second ago. I'm not here anymore. Whether I'm in the room or not, I could be physically here, but I could also be like elsewhere. But
Yeah.
also physically, I could be like,
Yeah, water signs. Yeah, we're water signs. We're both water signs. Yeah. But for the last time in this conversation, can we address your experience being a Black American woman in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico? I appreciate you, Shy Donut, for asking the question instead of telling us how they don't like Black women here or there, right? Thank you for asking that question in this way.
right.
So,
How does
can you, for the
Mexico feel? Mexico is a country with people in it. So it's not Mexico feeling like there are people feeling all kinds of different ways, right? Because it's millions of people living here. So I cannot speak for every single person in Mexico how they feel. Um, but I don't think they're like it would be a bizarre question for to ask. How do you feel about Black women moving here? Like they would look at me like, what are you talking about? Like what? Like maybe they have no feelings about it. I think mostly they have no feelings
now
about
tell
it.
me, they feel no ways. Tell me about you being in a restaurant with other Black women. What happens? Because there is a gang of Black women from the US who live in San Miguel de Allende. Sometimes
Yeah,
they get together,
yeah.
in big groups and small groups. So what happens when there's 4, 8, 12 Black women at a table at a restaurant in San Miguel de Allende?
The restaurant says, ooh, we have a group of 8, 12 people. Yay. If it's a big enough
Feel no
restaurant, if it's a
ways.
small restaurant, they might feel overwhelmed by the 12 people. But if it's a, regular, bigger size restaurant, they're like, ooh, big table of people. That's
What
how they
we can
feel.
go on is how we are treated as people when we go to a place, right? I've
Yeah.
been in
They're like,
groups
it's a,
of Black
yeah.
women all over the world,
Yeah.
and for the most part, people either feel no ways or they will be like, oh, Black women. Because we seem a little extra joyful. We are a little extra beautiful. We're a little extra attention getting. I don't mean in a negative way. I mean positive attention. I've only received positive attention. 30 Black women just were here for my birthday in Bogota. We went to a restaurant. Well, I keep saying 30, 28 women and 2 men. We were at a restaurant in Bogota. And the response was, we're having fun. This is fun. Hope y'all are
Yeah.
having fun, right?
Yes.
People
Yes.
feel no ways about that. That's been our personal experience. I've not had a personal experience being in a group of Black women anywhere in the world, from Vietnam to Fiji to Bogota. I've not had an experience of people being like, oh no, not
Right.
you.
Right. I would say not in Mexico. Perhaps in London, maybe Britain, maybe you might feel this. Perhaps in France, you might get that, right? But Mexico, they're like, there's 12 people. We're gonna we're gonna get some good tips. Especially if they know we're American, they're like, oh, they tip. These people know how to tip. Not bad. Okay. They're gonna
That's
order
right.
food. They're gonna order drinks. Yay. Like we're gonna serve them. That we're a restaurant. This is what we do. Like it's like, yeah, exactly.
That's LGG said that earlier. Yeah, we know we're going to get a great tip, right? Because
Yeah.
Americans are going to tip us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, if you're in San Miguel, Michelle Whitterburn is having a brunch tomorrow. So you'll
Okay.
get to experience how it's like to, if you're here, sign up. It's in Black in San Miguel, I think is the Facebook group. And so, yeah, you can see for yourself what it's like to be in a larger group of Black people sitting at a restaurant. It will be a group of people sitting at a restaurant. And you may not be the only group because Mexican families like to get together with their families in a restaurant. And so there'll be a big group over here, there'll be a bigger group over here, and it's not uncommon. So you will be served food and drinks and you will enjoy yourself. Like it's not a thing. It's not,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. Whereas in the US, now we've had some amazing meetups all over the US. Okay. And I don't know that we've had any meetup in the US where we were made to feel uncomfortable. But it's not I don't know that any, but none of you have never experienced a situation in the US where you've been in a restaurant and they've made it clear they don't want you there. I think
They'll put
everybody
you off to the side. They'll be all
we've
slow.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think every Black person has experienced that in the US. I've never experienced that in a meetup, you're right? But I think we've all experienced that. And
Yeah.
so, what is the real concern? What is your real concern?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, here
If you keep
they're
bringing up,
yeah.
do they,
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
here they'll be happy to add another table, bring some more chairs. They'll bring the little hooks for your purse, you know. They'll bring more glasses and they'll move, accommodate more people come in. Okay, we'll just move some tables. They're not like, oh God, here's some more people. What? You said you're gonna be 20, now you're 25. What? No, they're like, ooh, more tables. Okay, we'll bring this over. Just hold on. It'll be a second. Might be a second before we can get everything together, but they'll accommodate. They'll accommodate because they're a restaurant. People are coming to eat. So they want people to come to eat.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So we talked earlier about that feeling, that jacket, that weighted jacket.
Yeah.
Um, I hope that you give yourself the opportunity to take it off. And these are places where you can go and do that. These are places, instead of deciding for yourself that because you're a Black American, people aren't going to be nice to you, go there and feel that jacket lift off. I think you need to take it off. I don't think it's going to automatic, but but put yourself in the position to take that off, right?
Yes.
Put yourself in the position to feel to not feel the literal oppression that
Mhm.
we have to endure in the United States.
Mhm.
Put yourself in a position to take off that jacket and
Yes.
feel like a human person moving through the world.
Yes. And when you're here, really be here. Like let yourself walk around, look around, and just go someplace and sit, and just observe and be. You don't have to do everything, see everything, buy everything, get everything. Just like let yourself walk around and just sit and be and look
Mhm.
around and see how it feels, feel how it feels, see how people are looking or not looking or how people are treating you and just experience it. Just let yourself be here,
Yeah.
experience it, feel it, and then you'll have that felt sense of what it's like to be here. Um, yeah. So give yourself, even if you're coming and you have a short trip, you're doing maybe a scouting trip or just a look see trip, give yourself some time every day to just be here, like be, not do, be, and then observe. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's more accepted and acceptable out of the US. In the US, you're
Yeah.
just not, when are you allowed to just sit and be? You need to be doing something. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. Do something. But in these places, you're allowed. It's expected that there is time when you're just gonna be.
I saw yesterday on Instagram. I think it was the National African American Museum, maybe one of those um, Instagram profiles where they had a photograph from the I don't know 60s, probably 50s, 40s, 60s, where it was a corner, street corner, and there was a black child standing on the street corner, and on both sides of the corner was no standing on the corner, no loitering or whatever. Whoever violators will be prosecuted. Like you can't even stand on a flippin' corner in the United States. Like you can't just be. You can't stand in a place. It's suspect. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. And so like sometimes when I'm just like, I'm like walking down the street and I'm like, you know what? I'm a little hot. Let me just pause. And I'll just pause and stand there. And that's what a moment when I'm like, wait, I'm allowed to just stand here and nobody's going to be like, what's she doing?
What are you doing?
Why's she standing there? Right? Like that, so deeply ingrained. Like we can't just stand on a street corner. We're not
Right.
allowed
No.
in the States. We are not allowed to just stand anywhere because that's suspect.
Mhm.
Standing somewhere is suspect in the
I
States.
kept, I haven't lived in the US since 2015. And still I catch myself like rushing and not wanting to sit somewhere. So like I said, I'm on a little whisper of an incline. If I don't wind around, if I walk directly up my little street, up the park, there's 64 steps. 64
Mm,
steps, and we're at 8,000 feet altitude. 64
mm,
steps is not an easy feat for me. Okay. So I sit down in the middle of the steps. I come up 42. I know exactly where the little bench is.
mm.
42 steps, and then I sit down, and then I come back up the rest of the way and come to my building. And sometimes when I'm doing it, I'll be like, okay, well, I can get up and move now. And then I'm like, I can sit here. I'm allowed to just sit here. I don't have to just feel like I can only use the bench when I absolutely need it. And then I got to get up from there. Don't get, there's nobody else here. Or maybe there's some people walking through the park. There's motorbikes riding by. There's trees. There's bougainvillea right there. I can just sit here. I don't have to always have a reason for what I'm doing. And I don't always have to be on the go. And that's a
Yes.
really lovely way to be living my life.
Oh my gosh. The concept of loitering. Ugh. Loitering.
Oh, only in America, baby. Only in
Yeah, only in
America.
America. I am just being here. Being. It's an offense. It's mind blowing. So yeah, you can like it's like sometimes you'll see like little kids like I what was I doing? She was just like basically like sleeping on the sidewalk because her mom was like on the phone or something. And the kid was like, and you're just, it's just different. It's just different. It's okay to just be. You don't always have to be going somewhere. You don't always have to be doing something specific. You might just be wandering. You might just be curious about a place. You might just want to just, sun your face. I'm just
Mhm.
enjoying some sun right here.
That's right.
And it's
That's
not
right.
illegal. It's not a problem. It's just, yeah. Whew.
Sometimes, sometimes we won't. This is a thing that you won't recognize that you need until you have it. I don't think. I don't think. I don't know a lot of people who are still in the way the United States operates who are like, what I want to do is just go and sit. Right? We talk about the food. I want to go somewhere where the food is healthy. I want to go somewhere where sometimes the cost of living is lower than what I have to live in right now or whatever. But I think the thing that is so healing and so, yeah, so healing for us is just time, right? It's just time to be and seeing what that does for us and seeing how unreactive other people are about it, I think that is the healing thing. That is a healing thing for us.
It is healing to not be policed 24/7.
Absolutely.
Not just by
Absolutely.
police, but by the people around you. Everybody got to know what you doing there. Why are you standing there? Do you have a
Yeah.
permit for that? No. Yeah.
I never really thought about how much of my energy went towards making sure white people felt more comfortable so that they didn't react until I left and started coming back. And I'm like, oh, some things that I would like to do, like looking in windows. Listen, I am a vain person. If you can't tell by how many times I've adjusted my hair today, I love to walk past the window and look at myself. But sometimes in the United States, I can't even look in the window, right? Because I don't want these people to think that XYZ is happening. A lot of our energy is dedicated to surviving a place that was never going to be hospitable to us, that was never going to welcome us. And so it's so great to see us out here. So the town, hello, Photos Familia VMM. We're talking about San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, which is beautiful. If I was a listen, if I was a better YouTuber, I would have shown you some pictures, but you won't have to Google it, okay?
Yeah. It's easy.
To Google
Yeah. You'll find it. Yeah. You'll find it. Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
beautiful doors. So as a person who
Mhm.
loves doors and floors, I love San Miguel because the doors are just beautiful. They take their time. That door was carved, right?
Yeah.
They take their time with their doors.
Yeah.
You may see some beautiful tile floors. I love a good terracotta tile floor, but any kind of tile floor, tile steps,
Mhm.
it's a beautiful place. It's a place where you want to take your time. It's a place where you want to slow down and just be there and not
Yes.
feel rushed, not feel like
Yeah.
you have to be doing things. It's a great environment for this exact thing.
Yeah. And generally, like in DC, I'm a fast walker. But like I said, one, these sidewalks, two, this altitude,
Mhm.
I have to walk slower. I have no choice.
Mhm.
I have no choice. So
It'll
I'm
slow you.
automatically slowed down here.
Uh-huh. It'll slow you down, right? In every way, it'll slow you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, how did we do? Is there something that we need to
Um,
cover?
um, I don't know. I want to say, hey, Celeste. Hey, Celeste. Celeste was inviting people to hang out with us today. I
Are
think
y'all
we're
hanging out
going
today?
to, yeah, yeah. We are going to, there's some arts, there's a lot of arts and like, I don't know. There's something, always some artsy thing going on here, which I love. So I think there's a art festival or something. I can't remember. I sent it to her and now I forget.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
That's the thing we
Oh,
didn't talk about, how artsy. So this is
oh
an
yeah,
artist town. It's an
yeah,
artsy,
yeah,
fartsy
yeah,
town. There's
yeah,
stuff always. There are,
yeah,
years ago, I think the first time I heard about San Miguel was that there's some annual writers retreat or
yeah.
some
There's a
writer
writers conference in
conference.
February. There's an annual writers conference. I think it's like 30 years old or something like that. So, yeah, honestly, the first time I heard about San Miguel was in the 80s because my boyfriend there, yeah, what's the art school? It's the Institute. That's where the festival or the art thing is, art fair is today.
Uh-huh.
Um, this weekend, I think it's tomorrow too. But yeah, so my boyfriend at the time, his mother was kind of artistic, and she took him and his siblings to San Miguel in the 70s for
Oh,
the summer, and they learned Spanish, and she took art classes, and they just, ran around, learned Spanish and all the stuff. So that's when I first learned about San Miguel, was in the 80s. So it's been on my
uh-huh.
radar for a really long time.
Yeah. And look at you living it out,
I
living
know,
it
right?
out.
And the last time, I think it was the last time Celeste was in town, was it was cold back then. So maybe it was one of the times. But anyway, we went. There was the Gypsy Kings. Remember them from the 80s and the 90s? The Gypsy
I
Kings.
think
They're like the Spanish group, and they play like flamenco guitar. Really fun. Um,
five, something, something number five was their song. Something, something number five.
no, it's
I think I know. I think I know
yeah.
what you
We'll,
mean.
we'll know. Yeah. anyway, they had a free concert out at the parroquia. So we got to see the Gypsy Kings. It was so fun. It was really crowded. Everybody was happy. We're dancing and singing to the songs. It was so much fun. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's that kind of place.
mhm.
So I didn't know that you went to art school. I did know that you worked for NPR before, but I didn't know that you went to film school.
Homeschool.
Is it reactivating some artsy fartsy things inside of you?
Um, RC Farsi is always, it's been in my life forever. I'm always doing something. But yeah, I think it was good background to have. I went to film school in London it was a 2-year program. Yeah, yeah. So that was a
Oh,
long time ago. Yeah.
are we making movies now that we live in this artsy fartsy town? Are we,
No,
are
just
you over?
Instagram posts.
Okay, okay.
I also have an MFA in creative writing. So, girl, I have many chapters of my life. Many
Okay. Well, if you write a movie and you're gonna make a movie, I'll come down. I want to come down.
Yeah,
I
when
would
are
like,
you coming to San Miguel? When? Oh, well,
I
you
don't
have
know.
stuff to do in Colombia. You got stuff to
I
do, but you get
know.
around.
It's not hard to get
Rashida's
there.
been
So
here. Rashida's been here.
I know. It's not hard to
She's
get
here
there. So
for that.
it's
Yeah.
not a never. But probably not this year. Uh,
Um, okay.
After December, I don't have any plans between January and June. I have no travel plans. So maybe somewhere in there. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'll be an artsy fartsy person and sign up for the writers conference in February.
Ooh, yeah.
That's not a
Oh, that
promise.
would be
Don't okay, don't at
okay.
me.
Yeah. No, no, no. No promises. No
But
promises.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I think through December, my travel and my time here is occupado.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I'll be free
Okay.
in the spring.
Yeah. Good. Oh, yeah. I just wonder if people have any questions for me or for you, like about the residency process or I don't know anything. I don't know. Is
All
there
right,
questions?
ask your questions.
Yeah, ask me
Cat said,
questions. Ask
ask
me
the
questions.
questions.
Ask me questions. Ask me questions. Barbara.
Flutterby, Pacific Northwest wants to know, do you see fiber art people, knitters, embroiderers,
Hmm.
spinners?
Spinners. I haven't seen spinners. I see a lot of macrame around town. Um, and they're the traditional embroidery, but I haven't been looking for classes, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were classes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And there's an art studio like literally around the corner from me. He does painting though. Yeah, there's a lot. I would say, I don't know how you can find it, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there were. Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's what else? It's just Google San Miguel Writers Conference 2025 or 2026 at this point. Yeah, you'll find it. It's up there.
It's
It's
world
in
famous,
February.
world
Yeah,
famous.
it is. It's in February. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, there's also this. There's so much going on. Like when I was in Cabo for that dog sit, I was
Mhm.
asking my host, so what's how do you get in touch with them? Like, how do you get into this, like figure out what's going on in town? She's like, I don't know. It's not really like there's no central thing. And I was like, well, like what's, and I kept trying to figure out what was going on. And I was like, forget it. I'll not be back in San Miguel in 10 days. Nothing happening here. I do a
The answer
couple
was
like,
nothing. There's nothing happening.
I mean, not the same level. Like I did a couple, snorkeling tours and that was awesome.
Okay.
But like here, there's like, I signed up for a little WhatsApp group that does like mushroom hunting tours out in the country. And like,
Oh,
Michelle Wedderburn has her brunches and there's like a men's group that's like, Black men getting together, doing their thing. And there's like queer get-togethers and there's queer women get-togethers and there's like, um, language exchange. There's
yeah.
also the library that it's like a community center and library where you can learn English, you can learn Spanish, you can do the language exchange, you can do like yoga there. Like there's a lot to do. And
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a lot. But it is still a small place. So like on any given day, there's maybe one thing that you really want to do. There's not like 20 things like you would in New York or London. It's like there's the one party that night, there's the
Yeah.
one party that, and that's I like that because I get, like I've lived in London, I've lived in New York, but I get overwhelmed and I'm like, I end up doing nothing because there's so much.
Yeah.
But in a smaller place, and there's one thing you
Good.
want to do that day, then there's no FOMO. You're doing the thing.
Yeah. FOMO. Amina says, "Hi, Amina. Amina is now has a home in San Miguel as well. What's your favorite neighborhood in San Miguel and why?"
So I haven't been here long enough to know. I don't have a car, so I personally like Centro because I can walk to places. Um, so I don't know enough. I used to like, what is it? Not like La Lejona. La Lejona is okay, but then there's the other one, Los Frailes. I used to like be like, oh, Los Frailes, you need a car. Oh no. But recently I've been to like visiting people in Los Frailes, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to get a car, but it's like you get the space and it's quiet,
Mhm.
and it's like there's something appealing about it for people who have a car.
I've done two house sits in Los Frailes.
Mm,
I think they were both in that neighborhood. It sounds familiar. I think I've done two up there. There's like there's I don't know. There's a street with some arches in the
mm,
middle. Yeah, I've done a couple of neighborhoods up there. I mean, a couple of
mm.
house sits up there. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And one, I don't really like big houses. Like for me, I'm like, for
Uh,
if it's just me, I don't want a big house because it's too much to take care of.
uh-huh.
But
We're gonna
the
clean it.
houses I think are bigger there, right? Clean it and heat it. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I think if I were co-living, I would probably like to be in Los Frailes because it's separate from the city. And so like to go socialize, you have to like it's another thought process, right? With especially without a car, right? Even with a car, I think it's a thought process. Am I going into town? Blah blah blah. But if I were co-living, I think Los Frailes would probably be the choice because you have a big house, you'd have some space outdoors, you'd have, you know, that would be a thing. I recently went to like a little film, like a very small, like 20, 30 people film screening in someone's courtyard in Los Frailes. It was so
Oh,
beautiful. Yeah, it was so beautiful. And the woman is, one of the women is a ceramicist. So she has her ceramic studio there. She and her girlfriend live upstairs in a like a house with other artists. Really nice setup, really beautiful place, modern, but also rustic at the same time. Like nice combination of modern and rustic that I really like. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's beautiful. Ko has a question about what areas in Mexico to stay away from. So there are 36 states in Mexico, right? I think the reason that you hear people talk about the same 10 cities is either there's some problems in some of those other states and or we just don't know, right? So I tried to check out Veracruz. After I got there, I was like, oh, I think I know why people don't move here. I think there might be cartel activity, right? I think
Maybe a little.
after I got there, I was like, I think this is a cartel place. I think that's why people don't move here. It was perfectly safe as a vacation spot. Because I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I think there are it's there are well-known cartel cities and states in Mexico, and there are places where people just do not bother to go.
Mhm.
So I would just look at the top 10 and just don't go to those places. Any
Yeah.
place where you hear people talking about there's a group of Black people or a group of American people or whatever there, then you know it's probably a place where it's safer. Just like you don't hear people moving from France to St. Louis,
Saint
okay?
Louis, Saint Louis.
Just because people, just like the same, it's the same type of investigation. Why don't people move to this place, right? Good cost of living, good whatever.
Mm,
Maybe it's
mm,
because it's not safe.
mm,
Similarly in Mexico, similarly in Colombia, we ask those same questions. I would say any place that you hear people talking about they move there is a safe place because Americans are not moving to a place to
mm,
be unsafe.
mm,
You think
mm.
there's a different criteria? How would you?
Me, I would say I wouldn't hang out close to the border. It doesn't seem like a really great place to be right now, generally, right? There are definitely states where, mm-mm. And I actually have a map. It's outdated, but it was like a map of Mexico where it's like high, activity, lower activity, right? And it changes over the years, right? They migrate just like we do, right?
Okay.
These activities migrate. But you know, I was told by my host when I was in Guadalajara, oh yeah, this is a place where there's a lot of money laundering. You know, there's a lot of money laundering in Guadalajara, but does that mean that you shouldn't move there? Not necessarily. Like, there's that particular type of activity, you know, from certain types of bad actors, right? And so if it's money laundering, maybe it's not an issue. I don't know, girl. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just, yeah.
yeah. There's some like the state of Michoacan, the state of Nayarit. There's some places where you just don't go. Okay. I
Mhm.
did pass through Nayarit. I went to a little beach in the very south of Nayarit, which is closer to the other state where people are Puerto Vallarta, Puerto
Put it
Escondido, one
out.
of those.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just places where you just don't go. And if you don't know what those places are, it's probably because that's not where people are moving,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It's not where the people are moving to. There's a lot
Yeah.
of states in Mexico.
There are a lot of states. And I'm sure that there are, you know, okay. I'm just reading the comments. I'm sure that there are Americans living everywhere in Mexico, right? There's Americans living everywhere. So it's not like, you know, we're not everywhere. I'm sure that Americans are in every single state, right? But
We don't hear.
some are
I
hot
mean the places.
spots.
Yeah, I mean the places where you hear the conversation,
Mhm.
right? There are places. There are probably 10 cities in Mexico, or 10 cities or towns in Mexico, where you hear everyone talking about this is where we're
Yeah,
going,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
because we feel good there. We feel good in those places.
Yeah, it's very hard to say though, because if folks are hearing, um, don't go to Mexico at all, they're hearing this from the media, like certain media that are talking, don't go. You know, it's hard. It's going to be hard for folks to sift through. Well, they said to go to Guadalajara. Well, don't go to Guadalajara. Well, they said go to Mexico City. Don't go to Mexico. You know, there's it's
Yeah.
just conflicting. It's hard to sift through where to go, where not to go. It's hard to sift. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm a
Um,
person who will I'm gonna learn from you. Somebody has done their research and I'm just gonna follow behind them, right? So when I see that there's a whole gang of black women in San Miguel, in Mexico City, in Guadalajara, in Lake Chapala, in Puerto Vallarta, I don't know the difference between
Playa
PP
del
and PP,
Carmen also, yeah.
in Playa del
Playa del
Carmen, right? In Querétaro. I'm like, okay, one of those, right?
Yeah,
Pick one of those. In,
and
in,
yeah,
in even in Baja California, sir, there is one place. Maybe is it Cabo? It's not Cabo. You just said that was boring. There is a place
it's
in Baja California, sir, too.
yeah, it's just not my place. It's not boring. I don't think it's boring. If you like to party, if you like to get down, I think it's a place for you. If you have a yacht, go for it, right? If you have a yacht, if you're looking for somebody with a yacht, might be your place. It might be
Okay.
your place, right? It's just not my place. But I'm not. Yeah, that's it. It's like it's for me. It's not for me, but it could be for you. It could be for
Okay.
you, right?
Good.
Yeah.
Teak Energetics wants to know, did you get a residency for your teen before when you got residency? Did you get residency for her too? No. Okay.
No,
She
no,
can't.
because she's not interested in living in Mexico, and uh, it's college time, so that's the focus right now. That's the focus.
Okay.
Yeah, and residency. No, I did not. It was going
Okay.
to be too complicated. It was going to be too
Okay.
complicated. There was going to be, you know, there's a whole co-parent involved with that, and I was like,
I
yeah,
forgot about them. I forgot.
right.
Jay says, is it helpful to bring your car when I move to San Miguel de Allende?
It depends. It depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to have.
Kat's
You
going to
know?
give you a diplomatic answer. I'm going to say, don't do it. Listen, bringing a vehicle into another country is crazy expensive. I am in, what is the word? Not exaggerator, but the person who is like well, I have one example, so that means it's all bad. But bringing bringing your car into another country is crazy, crazy expensive when they already have cars there.
They do.
Also, right, they have cars there.
They really
Also,
do.
do you know do you know what it will cost you to register, not just bring it in, but register it in? Do you know if your type of visa allows you to have a registered vehicle? It's not worth it. I don't know
Well,
that it's worth it.
I didn't bring my car. However, I think Dee is still here. I think Dee is here, and she brought her car, and I think she's been back and forth with it. So it's not impossible, and I don't think it's quite as because we're attached. So it's not like bringing your car to Colombia, right? You don't have to put it on a ferry or something crazy like
Yeah,
that. But it's you can just drive it down.
you can drive.
It is a process. You do have to do certain paperwork. And as a temporary resident, you can have it. As a permanent resident, you cannot. You cannot do it.
Ah,
You have to be a temporary resident. Once you're permanent, they want you to have a Mexican car.
ah,
So if you bring your car in from the States as a temporary resident, you'll know that you can't sell your car in Mexico, but you can't have it once you become a permanent resident. So you have to bring it back to the States and sell it there, give it to your family, whatever. Right? So it's a temporary fix. Might work for you. It might work, that for a couple years that you have, I guess 3 years that you have your temporary residency, it might be good to have your car, because if you just paid it off and you're just like, oh, I can't, it might work, right? If you love your car, if it's all
I
paid
think
off and you're happy with it, and it's roadworthy. It has to be roadworthy. It has to be in really tip-top shape because you do not want to break down driving from the States to Mexico. You want to make sure it's in tippity tip-top shape. Um, and you know that it's a temporary fix. Like you're not going to be able to keep it for the whole time. I mean, after 3 years, yeah. The other thing that I was watching, I can't remember his name, but he lives in Merida, and he was talking with someone who is an expert in helping Americans get cars in Mexico. He was saying that even if say you have a Honda CRV, you bring it down and you need to get it repaired, a Honda CRV that was not made in Mexico is not going to use the exact same parts. The parts might be like a couple millimeters off. Like the parts are just maybe a slightly different size, or they might not have the exact part that you need. And so getting it repaired could be an issue because you're getting the part from Honda, but it's for a Mexican Honda. So it's maybe not quite perfect, right? So that's another consideration. So I went through the thought process of should I bring my car, should I bring it? And I was thinking I would have somebody I would drive it to Texas, and then I would hire somebody to drive it for me through the problematic northern Mexico area. Because you can run into.
there is kind of like a no man's land that you would have to drive through, that where once they know you're an American, somebody is going to have at least the thought of how can I take advantage of this person, right?
Quite possible.
So
Quite possibly. Yeah.
quite
And however,
possibly.
there are a lot of cars coming up and down. It's not like you're the only one, right? There's
Mhm.
lots of cars coming up and down,
Do it.
back and forth, trucks with goods, right? Vegetables, whatever they bring. Um, you know, so it felt like kind of a little bit of a crapshoot. I didn't want to take
Friends
it.
in the chat are acting like they don't know that St. Louis is a very dangerous place. Roshni lives in St. Louis, girl. You know.
Oops. Oops.
You know. I feel like we have our blinders on about danger and safety. St. Louis is a dangerous place with a very high murder rate. I lived in Wilmington, Delaware, when Wilmington, Delaware had the highest per capita murder rate in the country. I've lived in a very dangerous place. Now, because of banking, people did sometimes move to Wilmington, but nobody's moving to St. Louis right? from Belgium. Belgians are not moving, right? Now, that is it, but that doesn't mean people aren't moving to the United States. It's the same when we're talking about moving to Mexico, moving to Colombia, moving to Panama. There are places where you're not going to want to move, right? But there are places where you are going to love to move. People love moving to New York City, right? It's one of the best places in the whole world. People love moving to wherever. Even the worst, even Florida, which I think is not a good place. People love moving to Florida. Some of those beaches rival beaches anywhere else in the world. That panhandle, you have to deal with terrible people, but you could, right? Uh, so say y'all know St. Louis, not a place that you would advise anybody to move to. There was a time when I'd be like, don't come to Delaware, right? Even though my neighborhood is safe and my path to work is safe and my park, even I ran in the park day and night, is safe. This is a place where people get murdered all the time. There's similar activity in other parts of the world. I think what other parts of the world may do better is they kind of compartmentalize the danger. Whereas in the United States, anybody can catch a bullet. You can catch a stray anywhere you are. In other places, I feel like things are a little more compartmentalized. It may be because I haven't been here long enough. I know that there's crime in Bogota. I've, but it seems to be compartmentalized. Me and my bougie neighborhood, we're doing good, right? The same way you would talk about to someone who is moving to the US and let them know it's not one place. The United States is not one experience. Mexico is not one experience. Colombia is not one. Panama, wherever, South Africa, it's not one experience. Okay. So are there
Hi,
safe cities?
witchcraft.
Sorry, go ahead. Say it again.
She says St. Louis is known for high witchcraft. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. If they had high witchcraft, they'd probably be a little safer. If there was a little more, if there was more incantation happening, St. Louis might be a little bit safer than it is. Might be a little
What were we gonna
safe.
say? We're gonna say you put somebody up there.
All right. Okay.
Are you gonna answer a question? I thought you put something. Oh,
Have either of us rented cars? I've rented now. I have rented a car and driven around Mexico. I've taken buses around Mexico. I wish there were trains, but there's not a train system.
there's one.
Yeah, no
There's
problems.
one train in. They just built it in the Yucatan, but yeah.
But it's not helpful or it's not good.
I mean, I'm mad about it because it's, I like that there was kind of untouched jungle, but now there isn't. Yeah, but anyway, that's not what she's asking about. Car. I rented a car in Cozumel, but that's a very contained system. It's like there's a loop road around, and I just needed to get to the beach. But I haven't rented a car here yet.
I've rented cars when my mom was there. We rented a car in one town, Guanajuato, and we drove to San Miguel. Right,
Hmm.
roads were fine, highways were fine, car rental costs were fine. I can't say exactly what it costs. You have to get insurance. I think Mexico is one of those countries where you have, no matter what, no, I don't care what you have on your credit card, what your coverage is, you have to get insurance. I can't remember it being crazy expensive. Not like you rent a car to have the car for a year, but
Right.
like, regular car rental prices, regular car rental experience, good roads and highways, or decent enough roads and highways.
Yeah.
No problems. No
Yeah.
problems.
I mean, there's some things that you need to be like the topes. They'll have like speed bumps on a highway,
Yeah.
and some of them are not marked, and so you're like going along, and you're like, wee! It's not fun. And some of them are square. They don't have as many square ones where they're not like boom. It's like which is not fun for your car.
Yeah, I house sat the first time I house sat in Mexico. They were Canadian. It was a family from Canada, and they drove me around for quite a while. We were in the house together or I was in their guest house, their like casita, for quite a while. And her job, he would drive, and her job was to point out every tope, even though they rode the same roads. I don't know, but that was her job, like tope, tope. So I guess they had a bad experience hitting that speed bump when they didn't expect it.
Yeah. Yeah. And also here in San Miguel, at least in Centro, they're not really stop signs or street lights. It's more, it's uno, like one after the other. So you go, this goes, this goes, this goes. You're weaving the traffic. Your traffic is weaving, and it's something that people who come from Mexico City and they're driving and they don't understand it. So sometimes when it's like a big festival time, they'll be like somebody with a sign and they'll have a sign like uno. Like they'll like the police will have a sign that says uno. Remember, that's how we do it here. One after the other. There's no stop sign, so yeah.
Yeah, because San Miguel is a place that Mexicans love to travel to. Like we've talked about being American women who visit Mexico or move to Mexico, but Mexican people love San Miguel de Allende, right?
Yeah.
It's their hot
Good
spot too.
vacation
They
spot.
love to go
Yeah,
there, enjoy
yeah,
it
it's a
too.
nice place to have a wedding. It's a nice place to, come for Day of the Dead, for example.
Mhm.
All the art festivals, people from around Mexico come here. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Have you been to the hot springs
I haven't
around?
yet. I have not. No, I
Not
haven't.
yet? No?
No, oddly
Hot
enough,
springs are so
no.
good for you.
I love hot
I'm
springs, and
learning
I
so
could
many
get
new
all
things.
hydrated. Okay, see, Tuesday Market, hot
I
springs.
know.
It's like when you live in a place, like when was the last time I went up into like Washington Monument when I was in grade school? Like you just, like I live here, so I forget about that stuff. But yeah, of course.
But
We're going to the hot
you love
springs.
you
Of
love the
course.
health things. So Michelle took
Yeah.
us to the hot springs, and it
Okay.
was like a regular weekday at maybe 9 a.m. And people
Mhm.
just go there before work, right?
Mhm.
You love the health
Mhm.
stuff. Get their
It
little
is.
minerals in their skin or whatever hot springs do for
Yes,
you.
I want it. Yeah, it's out of town, so I'd have to figure out the logistics of getting there because I don't have a car,
That's
so I
right.
have to figure out how to do it. But
Have you
yeah.
found a person who you like to drive you around? Have you found
Yeah, I
a
have a couple. Yeah, a couple friends.
good?
A couple of my friends have given me the names of their drivers. So yeah, I have drivers that I can call.
Good. Okay. Can you put it on your calendar for before the summer ends? You'll love
Yes,
it. It's
before I leave for DC. Yeah, I will. I wonder. Maybe Celeste will come with me.
okay. Okay. Good. Do it. Do it. It's so good
Yeah,
for you. We want to
I know. I
reap
love it.
towards the reason to go to a place, the reason to move to a place is because it's so good for you. So I hope you enjoy the things that are there that are good for you.
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder.
Yes. Yes.
Water. What am I doing? I forgot. Honestly, I forgot they were there.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you
good,
for
good.
the
I
reminder.
hope you
Thank you.
make a date, and then we'll be looking on Instagram for you to
All
post
right.
that you've done it.
Okay.
That's
Thank
your
you. Thank you. I need it. Duh. Hydrate, lady. Hydrate. What are you doing?
yeah. If you had been in the water, your skin would have soaked in everything you
Right?
needed.
Exactly.
I do want to answer one more question about Exodus Summit that I saved from earlier. Hi, Mary and Douglas Ungaro. Hope you're still here. Exodus Summit 2025 is online October 10th through 13th. Exodus Summit, if you don't know, friends, is the online conference that I co host with Rashida Dow for Black women who are interested in moving abroad, whether it's full time or part time or bopping around the world, right? If you're interested in leaving the country and spending some time abroad, significant time abroad, Exodus Summit is for you. So you should first block off October 10th through 13th. The 10th, I believe, is Friday. And so it usually doesn't start until Friday evening, Eastern time, right? Friday evening, Eastern time, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday. We're going to be together online so that you can work out how you can do this thing instead of just watching and supporting other people who do this thing. How you can actually leave the country too. How you can actually feel some of this healing, some of this peace, some of this joy too, some of this community and connection as well. So Exodus Summit is what we call Columbus Day weekend or Indigenous Peoples Weekend 2025. Mark that time off. And then if you want to make sure that you don't miss it when tickets go on sale, go to exodussummit.com/2025 and just make sure you're on the wait list. If you don't get any emails, if you don't get Exodus Summit emails yet, then this is a way to start getting them. .com/2025. Okay. That's all I need
Type
to type
into
in.
everyone.
Yes. So it's an event. It's a time that you'll want to have nothing else that you need to do. Okay, it's a time, even though it's online, you'll want to treat it like it's an in-person conference because not only are you going to learn, but you're going to meet other women from the community. You're going to be able to connect with people who are in some way have something in common with you and who are working on some common goal. So you'll want to block that off.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Kat, so
Yes.
you
I
probably
have.
went to do you think you went to the very first Exodus Summit,
I
2020? Do
think
you
so.
remember which year? You've been
Yeah,
around.
2020, I would have gone for sure. What was I
You've been
doing?
around for, I think Kat's been around from the beginning, from the very beginning, right? And now
Yeah.
she is living in Mexico. So she got coaching from Rashida on how to
Yep.
leave work,
Mhm.
which is now wrapped into Exodus A.S.A.P membership. She got coaching from me on YouTube,
Mhm.
coaching from Rashida and me on getting clients,
Mhm.
coaching from Hannah Dixon, who I'll drop in the chat, who
Mhm.
is the VA.
VA.
Her business is
Excellence
called,
Academy. Excellence Academy.
is
VA.
that what it's, oh,
Virtual
she's through my
Virtual
VA.
Excellence. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's, I'll put it in, all right,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the description.
Mhm.
Cat, Hannah is not Cat, Kit, Digital Nomad Kit is Hannah, right?
Yes. Yes.
Digital
Yes. Yes.
Nomad
Yes.
Kit. Yes.
Mhm.
Hannah
That's
Dixon, thank you, Pamela. Digital Nomad Kit, right?
yeah.
Cat put these things together. Kit
So
Kat
many
really
things.
threw me. Kit and Cat really threw
Kit
me.
Kat.
Like,
Yeah.
Cat.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Celeste is in it too. Are you in it too,
yeah,
Celeste? I think she is. Yeah. Yeah.
right. So Kat put
Yeah.
these resources together, this
Yeah.
coaching together, and is now living her life in San Miguel de Allende, not drinking enough water. Okay. So
Exactly. Yeah, Celeste did it too. She's working on she's traveling the world and traveling house sitting everywhere and doing the thing with
that's right.
through her own business. Yeah.
Also an alum of the Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge. Celeste also participated in the Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put these things together instead
Yes.
of being a person who I complain about when I go back to the US, who is like, well, it's just bad here. That's just how it is. Instead of being that, you can lift yourself up. Please lift yourself out of there. Please,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
please, please.
And
Thank
it
you.
yeah, and I wanted to say like I've spent years, watching everybody else do the thing and I'm like, I because co-parent wasn't going to leave the country before my kid was out of high school, right? I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
So watching other people do their thing and me like planting seeds and getting the skill and working with this coach and for me it took a while. I had a runway, and so I just used the time that I had instead of being like, oh, why can't I leave? Oh, I can't. Of course, I felt that way. I felt like, but I also was using the time that I had to, plant seeds, get skills, try things out, experiment, try this thing, decide I don't like this, decide I do like that, take that, put that together. So it still is a lot of experimentation, trying things out. Yeah, yeah, and it feels impossible until you do it.
Right. That's an important part. I think sometimes when people feel that way, they assume that means they can't put any work towards it, right? It feels so big, so
Mhm,
hard, so
mhm.
daunting that that means I shouldn't, I'm not, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Instead, that means let me take a step, let me get some support, let me get some help, let me get some community, let me find some people who can drag me to progress. I believe in hooking yourself onto people and letting them drag you to some
Rashida will
progress.
drag you. Rashida will drag you. She will drag you.
Yes, with love, with love.
She will with love. She'll be like, "Don't come to our next call unless you have done X, Y, and Z, like you said you're going to do, and then you haven't done it." She's like, "Why didn't you do that? Like, what are you doing?" Yeah. Yeah.
That's because Rashida, who lives in Mexico City now, who grew up in California, right? Rashida knows how much better her life is, how much better her health is, how much better her community is. And she wants that for you. Rashida and I created Exodus Summit and Exodus A.S.A.P because we know, right? It's not because we hope or we guess or we think maybe. It's because we know what's on the other side. And we know, like, how to shortcuts. I like the word shortcuts. Some people don't like the word shortcuts. We can know what things we can shortcut, what things are going to take longer. So come get support from the Exodus Summit community, whether it's in the Exodus Summit Facebook group, which is moving off Facebook very soon, but you can still join us there and we'll tell you when we're moving. And if you're ready for coaching to get your peace out protocol together, join us in the Exodus ASAP membership, exodusasap.com. The Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge starts tomorrow in Exodus ASAP. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Kat and you've been like, you know what? I think I would like to work on this same thing, right? Maybe San Miguel, maybe someplace else. Maybe you don't know where you would want to go. Join us in Exodus ASAP. We can work on it with you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say, I know you sound like you're wrapping up, but I would just say, if you're in a similar situation to where I was, like, it's going to take some time, like you have other things that you have to wrap up, you have other responsibilities and things that make it so that you're not going to be like immediately moving or whatever, you're not immediately going to be able to leave the job that you have. Just like start planting seeds anyway, just start doing something.
Yes.
Rather than just sitting there feeling like, ugh. Use that agency that Stephanie's been talking about and like do something, plant a seed, get a skill, like make that connection with that person. Take that scouting trip, even if you don't know if you can move there 2 years from now, 9 months from now, 3 years, whatever. Just start taking those steps, because your future self will thank you for it. You'll have those seeds and they'll start growing and you'll be like, oh, wow. Like, I'm sure, like, oh, I took that YouTube challenge. Oh yeah, I used that in my job. And then like I used that skill and I started a business. Like, oh yeah, thanks, Kat. You did a great job. Like planting seeds.
That's right. All the pieces they can come together, right? You let the pieces come together. And let me tell y'all another thing. For 4 years happens faster than you think it does, right? While you were in it, Kat, it probably felt like a long time, but looking back, it seemed pretty quick, right?
No,
I know.
it did not.
No. I've hosted Exodus 5 years, and time has gone by pretty quickly. I can't believe that this is our 6th summit. Okay, not for you, not for everybody.
No. And there's so many, like if you are moving abroad, there's so many pieces to it. Just like literally your stuff. You talk about that a lot, like literally your stuff, right? Yes, somebody said there's a lot of layoffs. One of my clients worked for the State Department. She just got laid off. That's not fun, but whatever. Yeah, just try it. And there's just so many pieces, like, okay, your stuff, that's literally thousands of decisions you have to make, micro decisions. And so like, even if you're just starting to get rid of stuff that you don't need or stuff that doesn't serve you, even like that little stuff, you can start doing that, right? Clean out your files, start shredding stuff, start giving stuff away, just little baby steps like that will get the momentum going. Just get a little momentum.
Do you feel like you spread that part of your move abroad out well? Did you make good progress in that over those 3 or 4 years that you were working on this? Did you spread out what am I going to do with my stuff part out well? So that
I spread it out. Like I had like almost monthly or every other month, like donations would come to my house and pick stuff up. That's if you have a kid who's constantly like growing out of clothes, that's like a common thing, or like growing out of books, common thing. Like you have to keep the stuff because the stuff comes in, you got to get it, donate it. So yes, I was constantly donating, giving, and I don't like shopping, so I'm not bringing a lot of stuff in that's not perishable, like food and whatever. But in the end, still had to like it was like, okay, got my apartment ready to roll. And I still was like, oh, I have so much stuff. Called like the friends that are still left in DC, a lot of my friends have already moved. But you know, I was like, do you want this? Can I give you do you want some bookshelves? Do you want like this plant? Please. Like please. You know,
Yeah.
there's still stuff.
Yeah, no matter, yeah, that's everybody. I think that's everybody. Even no matter how early you start, still at the end, you're like, get rid of it, sell it, do
It
something
is.
with it.
It
Yeah,
is. And the
it's
bigger
big.
stuff is easier, but like the little stuff, like what is this? Every little, like little, you know, your junk drawer. Man, some of that stuff's useful, some of it's not, some of it, oh my God, the little decisions. That's hard.
Yeah,
It takes time.
but worth it. Worth the effort.
Mhm.
Worth
Yep.
it. Okay. All right, friends. I think we're going to close this out. Kat, I appreciate you so much for being here. I hope that you feel better and better and better.
Thank
Uh,
you. I do
and
too. I feel better
I've
now.
linked, like I said, friends, I've linked to Kat's YouTube channel here in the description or in the description of this video. If you go down there and open it up, I've linked to her YouTube channel, Rebloom Room. I've linked to her Instagram, Rebloom Room,
Yeah.
and we've linked to her podcast and YouTube production and manager business. And I'll do that again too. Okay, all of the links are here in the chat, as well as links to Exodus Summit. She mentioned house sitting several times. We didn't really talk about house sitting, but I'll link also to my new house sitter toolkit. It's a free digital download that'll get you started. Okay. All right. I'm so glad, Kat, that you're there. Okay. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
that you're there.
I'm
And
grateful every day.
yeah. Yes, it's so deep. Thank you for updating us and letting us know. Because it's been a while. Well, I've talked to you here several times in smaller videos. I don't know if we've ever had a whole conversation. Now that I think about it, but inside of other videos, I've talked to you, right? So I'm so glad to see you there, and I hope that one day soon I'll actually like physically be there to see you there in
Yeah,
San
you
Miguel
will.
area.
You will. You will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Take good care.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you, friends.
Mhm.